It's your boy Gallus. Brand new day, brand new video. Yeah, while we was asleep last night, man, Iran done went on a rampage, sent some missile our way, but it's all good. Nobody got hurt. But the president about to address that this morning. But before he addressed the situation, y'all guys jump into this video and catch you up and to let you know what's going on. Peace.
We are hours away from
listen.
President Trump's response to Iran's missile attack on 2 military bases last night. Iran's supreme leader is warning that more retaliation attacks from Tehran could be imminent.
Wow.
Catherine Johnson has more from Washington.
The 2 bases hit have been on high alert in recent days, with indications that Iran was planning to strike. Last night, the president met with top defense officials at the White House to try to discuss a strategy on how the U.S. might respond.
Iran launched more than a dozen missiles overnight, aimed at 2 Iraqi bases housing U.S. troops. Iranian state TV said it was revenge for last week's killing of General Qasem Soleimani.
But they didn't kill nobody.
He was buried hours after
It's a
the
cheap
attack,
missile.
following a massive multi-city funeral procession filled with anti-American
Some
statements.
$200 missile.
One base targeted was in Erbil, in northern Iraq.
After that, we also heard helicopters in the sky. And just a little while ago, we also heard a fighter jet overhead.
The other was at Al Asad Air Base, home to about 1,500 personnel.
We're
prepared to attack if we have to.
Earlier in the day, President Trump sent a warning to Iran.
Warning.
If Iran does anything that
Tell them, Mr. President.
they shouldn't be doing, they're going to be suffering the consequences.
Exactly.
But after the attacks, the president tweeted, "All is well," and so far, so good. Iran's foreign minister also reacted on social
He doing a lot
media,
of talking
saying,
lately.
quote, "Iran took and concluded proportionate measures in self-defense, and they do not seek escalation or war."
It's very simple what we want from Iran. Stop trying to kill us.
Some U.S. lawmakers hope both sides show restraint,
This could spiral out of control very, very quickly.
as do many Iranian Americans.
I feel for the troops that are going there right now. I feel for their families. I feel that both sides,
Exactly.
the people, the public,
got two
they don't
countries
want
they
to have any
conflict with.
war.
Iranian state TV says Iran has 100 other targets if the U.S. responds.
100 targets?
The Secret Service
Good
has
Lord.
beefed up its presence at the White
Iran
House
ain't
as we
playing.
wait for the president's statement this morning on the attacks.
They're
And we
just
also
bluffing.
expect this to be the opening topic on Capitol Hill when the Senate convenes at 10 a.m.
So my first reaction was I was a little surprised that they did a direct military attack
was
from
surprised,
Iran
too.
on the United States because of the risk associated with it. Right? Had they killed an American, it would have been very
Lord.
difficult for President Trump not
Then
to
it would
have
be a war
responded
then.
in force by attacking sites in Iran. And that would have taken us to the risk of war. Actually, would have taken us to war.
I can't understand
so I was
why
a bit
Iran wasted
surprised.
money. Fire
But
those
when
rockets,
I saw
they
how
did no
limited
damage or
the
nothing.
strike was, a relatively small number of missiles, no casualties,
Oh,
it
Lord.
suggested to me
Waste of
that
money.
the Iranians may be sending a signal here that, look, we have to
told y'all
respond,
yesterday it was
but
blowing smoke.
we didn't. We did a proportionate response. We don't want to escalate this. We want this to be, at least in the overt war, perhaps our last shot for now. The overt war, which is us killing Qasem Soleimani, taking responsibility,
He was a bad guy,
and
they said.
them now firing back from Iran, taking responsibility. That's the overt war. Hopefully that can de-escalate now.
hope so.
But that doesn't mean the covert war is over. One is still down the road at some point an assassination of a senior U.S. official somewhere
would
in the
not be a good
world. It could
idea.
be months from now. To get revenge. And then two, we still have to worry about those Iranian proxies. They may still attack U.S. military bases. We've seen some
that's
rocket
true,
attacks since Soleimani was killed.
They gotta-
And we have to
don't let the
remember,
guard down.
Anne-Marie, that Iran has
Can't let that guard down.
some control over these proxies, but not complete control. So even
Let's hear
though
what Mr.
Iran
President
may
got to
not
say.
want them
You know,
to
we're
attack
waiting all
US
morning
bases,
to hear
they
from
could
him.
still
All
do
right, y'all
that
tune in. Let's hear what Mr.
and
President
drag
have to
us
say. He
towards
about to walk on right now. Let's see what he got to say. Here we go. Come on, Trump.
As long as I'm president of the United States,
Y'all hear that?
Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon.
Exactly.
Good morning. I'm pleased to inform you the American people should be extremely grateful and happy. No Americans
feel
were
safe.
harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime. We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe.
Cheap missiles.
And
They
only
were cheap.
minimal damage was sustained at our military bases. Our great American forces are prepared for anything. Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
Oh,
No American
waving the white
or
flag,
Iraqi
huh?
lives were lost because of the precautions taken, the dispersal of forces, and an early warning system that worked very well.
Wow.
I salute
hear
the
that?
incredible skill
So we
and
know they were
courage of
coming.
America's men and women in uniform. For far too long, all the way back to 1979 to be exact, nations have tolerated Iran's destructive and destabilizing behavior in the Middle East and beyond. Those days are over. Iran has been the leading sponsor
hear
of
that?
terrorism, and their pursuit of nuclear weapons threatens the civilized world. We will never let that happen. Last week, we took decisive action to stop a ruthless terrorist from threatening American lives. At my direction, the United States military eliminated the world's top terrorist, Qasem Soleimani. As the head of the Quds Force, Soleimani was personally responsible for some of the absolutely worst atrocities. He trained terrorist armies, including Hezbollah, launching terrorist strikes against civilian targets. He fueled bloody civil wars all across the region. He viciously wounded and murdered thousands of U.S. troops, including the planting of roadside bombs that maim and dismember their victims.
So they've been watching this
Soleimani
guy for a long
directed the
time.
recent attacks
They want
on
him
U.S.
out. They
personnel
want
in
him
Iraq
out.
that badly wounded 4 service members and killed 1 American, and he orchestrated the violent assault on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. In recent days, he was planning new attacks on American targets, but we stopped him. Soleimani's hands were drenched in both American and Iranian blood. He should have been terminated long ago. By removing Soleimani, we have sent a powerful message to terrorists. If you value your own life, you will not threaten the lives of our people.
That's true.
As we continue to
That is
evaluate
true.
options in response to Iranian aggression, the United States will immediately impose additional punishing economic sanctions on the Iranian regime. These
Y'all hear that?
powerful sanctions will remain until Iran changes its behavior. In recent months alone, Iran has seized ships in
Shots
international
fired.
waters, fired an unprovoked strike on Saudi Arabia, and shot down 2 U.S. drones. Iran's hostilities substantially increased after the foolish Iran nuclear
So
deal
when we
was
gonna get our
signed
drones back?
in 2013, and they were given $150 billion, not to mention $1.8 billion in cash. Instead of saying thank you to the United
give
States,
them all
they
this
chanted
money?
death to America.
Really?
In fact, they chanted death to America the day the agreement was signed. Then Iran went on
President
a terrorist
Obama.
spree, funded by the money from
Is
the
that
deal,
true?
and created hell in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The missiles fired last night at us and our allies
Was
were
cheap.
paid for with the funds made available by the last administration. The regime also
Obama!
greatly tightened
Oh
the
my
reins in their
God!
own country,
Really? You
even
paid for
recently
them to
killing
attack us?
1,500
My
people
God!
at the many protests that are taking place all throughout Iran.
Is that true?
The
Or
very
Trump is
defective
just firing shots
JCPOA
at Obama.
expires shortly anyway and gives Iran a clear and quick path to nuclear breakout. Iran must
My
abandon its nuclear ambitions and end its support for terrorism. The time has come for the United Kingdom, Germany, France, Russia, and China to recognize this reality. They must now break away from the remnants of the Iran deal, or JCPOA.
Oh, wow.
And we must
That
all
was a
work
bad
together
deal.
toward making
Stay out
a
of it.
deal
I know
with
nothing
Iran
about it.
that makes the world a safer and more peaceful place. We must also make a deal that allows Iran to thrive and prosper and take advantage of its enormous untapped potential. Iran can be a great country. Peace and stability cannot prevail in the Middle East as long as Iran continues to foment violence, unrest, hatred, and war. The civilized world must send a clear and unified message to the Iranian regime. Your campaign of terror, murder, mayhem will not be tolerated any longer.
No more.
It will not be allowed to go forward. Today, I am going to ask NATO to become much more involved in the Middle East process. Over the last 3 years, under my leadership, our economy is stronger than ever before, and America has achieved energy independence. These historic accomplishments change our strategic priorities. These are accomplishments that nobody thought were possible. And options in the Middle East became available. We are now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world.
#1. Y'all hear that?
We are independent.
We don't need them halves.
And we do not
We don't need that gas.
Middle East oil.
Exactly.
The American military has been completely rebuilt under my administration at a cost of $2.5 trillion. U.S.
2.5.
armed forces are
Some brand new
stronger
weapons he talking about.
than ever before. Our missiles are big, powerful, accurate, lethal, and
Nice.
fast. Under
Ready to do some
construction
damage.
are many hypersonic missiles. The fact that we have this
Excuse me?
great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it. We do not
Well, don't
want
use them
to
unless
use
you
it.
have to.
American strength, both military and economic, is the best deterrent. 3 months ago, after destroying 100% of ISIS and its territorial caliphate, we killed the savage leader of ISIS,
How
al-Baghdadi,
about that? Oh,
who was
yeah.
responsible for so much death, including the mass beheadings of Christians, Muslims, and
Yeah.
all who stood in his way. He was a monster.
He
Al-Baghdadi was trying again to rebuild the ISIS caliphate and failed. Tens of thousands of ISIS fighters have been killed or captured during my administration. ISIS is a natural enemy of Iran.
Yeah?
The destruction of
Really?
ISIS is good for Iran, and we should work together on this and other shared priorities. Finally, to the people and leaders of Iran, we want you to have a future, and a great future, one that you deserve, one of prosperity at home and harmony with the nations of the world. The United States is ready to embrace peace with all who seek it.
We want peace.
I
We're
wanna
waving the
thank
white
you,
flag
and
too. Y'all
God
already
bless
waved the white
America.
flag.
Thank
Here
you
we
very
go. We're
much.
waving the
Thank
white flag too. We need peace. All right, Mr. President. So as y'all can see, y'all here, it ain't gonna be no war, and we ain't gonna attack them back. So that's a positive. That's a good note. So there is not gonna be no war. They're not gonna attack. They're not gonna retaliate. So Trump said, "Man, look, for the people of Iran, y'all can be a great country. You know, if y'all monster over there, come to his senses and realize that, there is gonna be no nuclear program, period." He said, "It's under my ministry, it's gonna be no nuclear program. You're gonna demolish that. You're gonna void that contract, basically, that Obama did with them." So he said, "Man, look, it ain't gonna be none of that." And what he want is for but I guarantee you, Trump would be on a different tone this morning if somebody did die last night in the attack that was failed by some cheap artilleries from Iran. I guarantee Trump would it would be some. He talk about hitting some religious sites and stuff. I guarantee you, if he was some casualty last night, that's what would have happened, and he would be singing a different song this morning. But you know, we don't want a war. You know, we want peace in this world. But then at the end of the day, we don't want other countries to be threatening our nation or our lives or our livelihood and feel like it's okay. You know, so I think it's the right thing for, you know, both countries to wave the white flag, go about their business. But and then on another note, America got to be on the careful, on the lookout now, because like the guy said earlier, man, that they can plan in to execute or, you know, commit some type of harm against some government official, you know. So we got to be on the lookout, man. We hear that Prime Minister over there, President over there in Iran said that even the new guy that take over for Salami, he said that he vowed for revenge. It's gonna be blood, gonna be shed. So we don't take them words lightly. We're not gonna not gonna say back down, but we're not gonna put our guards down, because at the end of the day, I feel like they will do some, and they will, you know, whenever our guards down, they will try to attack. So we got to be on the lookout for that. And let me know what you guys think about this video, man. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like, thumbs up, man, notification bell, so whenever I drop a new video, you know, it's going to be some new video coming over the couple weeks and stuff, man. Just let me know what you guys want me to cover, man. I cover it up, post it, and you guys can enjoy it, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section before. It's your boy Gallus 876 Connect, and we out, man. Peace.